but critics are already arguing that no one's bothered to include happiness on the plans.
Well, too much of it has been about taking the simplest route to delivering, just bricks and mortar, to delivering a roof over people's head and not thinking about the joy and the happiness side of it.
20 years ago, Wayne Hemingway was a fashion designer who believed happiness could be stitched into clothing.
Having spent 17 years running a fashion business, I was struck when I came into this housing industry. Sometimes more thought went into a blooming blouse and how you could get the joy into a blouse and make it cost effective than went sometimes into doing a house.
The wimpification of Britain was how he described it. At which point, house builders Wimpy challenged Wayne to design something better.
I have often walked.
And much to their surprise, he agreed to do precisely that.
This doesn't look like the classic Wimpy estate, I must say.
Well, the idea was to make terraces and get the kind of density that's on the government agenda, but make it feel like you've got your own individual house. This takes us into the kind of the communal gardens.
Isn't that great?
So everybody gets their own little bit of back garden, and it's got the low fences so that you can actually see your neighbours. It's got communal barbecues, and you've got the sit-out areas. You've got the gravel, the nice crunch. You've got an area.
The communal areas are great, and the seating areas and things like that, and it just brings everybody together. It's fantastic for kids.
I would say it's a really good place to live. I think you get a good community feel when you come down.
It has been designed on purpose to make new communities, and I think that's what's attracted a lot of people.
On the street where you live.
I mean, this actually isn't a new idea, is it?
No, this thinking came out of how me and my wife Geraldine were brought up in Lancashire, where you went out the back and there were what were called recreation areas, where we'd all pile out, have a game of football. When it was somebody's birthday, you get the trestle tables out. This is no different. It's landscape now, we've learnt a bit. If you design a bit of joy into things, it makes people a bit happier. And I don't think there's any vandalism on the whole development. I don't think vandalism...
I feel quite good here myself.
Yeah.
Can't be here.
Putting happy foundations under Wayne's estate hasn't added to the building costs. He argues it just requires a bit of extra thought before you start.
Where you live.
I mean, at the moment, housing by the government is being driven by delivery of numbers. And obviously, when you get obsessed with delivery, quality and the kind of happiness quotient and the joy quotient doesn't come into it.